Hello y'all, it's Laura back from the African Mercy. It is week 10 already. The time has flown by, and I'm going to tell you a little about my week and the medical in-service, and then I'll tell you a little bit about today and the headband I'm wearing right now. So this week, actually I'm going to backtrack a little bit and give you a little bit of background. So about 2 weeks ago we had a surgeon and his family fly in, the Emile family. Their father was Sharif, then Marie was the mom, then two little girls, Gabby, who is 7, and Ella, who was 2. So I had the privilege of welcoming this family on board because they arrived at midnight, and I was on duty that weekend, so I was actually the first ones to meet them when they got on the ship. And I was able to make a connection with them and build a relationship with the family and their girls, and that was really special. And this week on Wednesday, the medical in-service was actually Dr. Sharif Emile. So I got to meet him beforehand, become his friend, and then I got to listen to him tell us about what he does on the ship. And this is, I believe, his 4th or 5th or 6th time returning to the ship doing surgeries. He does surgeries on something called sacrococcygeal teratomas. Sorry, I had to look at the phone for that one to make sure I didn't pronounce it incorrectly. This is an unusual tumor that's found in infants and also in utero. So when a baby's still in their mama's tummy, they can do sonograms and actually see these teratomas in the baby. There's 4 types of teratomas. There is mostly external and a little bit internal, and then there is totally internal, totally external, and then like 50-50. So teratomas are actually located on the coccyx region of the spine, so near the butt. So whenever you see the pictures of these teratomas, they're super interesting and kind of disturbing looking because it's on a little baby, and usually they're bigger than their head, which is really bad. They're usually not malignant, which means they're not usually cancerous, but the thing is, these teratomas are super rare, and this is one of those diseases that modern medicine doesn't really understand. They don't know how it's caused. It is made up of stem cells. Essentially, the stem cells just gather at the lower coccyx part of the baby's spine, and it just grows and grows and grows, and it takes a lot of blood supply from the baby. So one of the most common ways that the patients die from this is heart failure, because this teratoma just sucks up all the blood and uses all the veins, and it just feeds itself, and they are super fast growing. So as soon as they find one on a baby, they want to remove it as soon as possible. And the good thing about it is it's pretty easily removed. Sometimes it is a more solid teratoma where it is hard, kind of like a rock, and then also it can be fluid-like, sort of like a balloon, and you can actually squish the fluid out of it and into, like, if it's one of the ones that are 50-50, one's part of the teratoma is outside the body and part of the teratoma is inside the body, they said that they can actually grab and squish the part outside of the body, and the fluid will go into the part inside the body, and so it just kind of like squishes, and then when you let go, it'll fill back up with the fluid. So that's kind of weird and crazy and scary. But listening to Dr. Emile talk about all this and how amazing babies are and how fast their bodies can recuperate from things like this was amazing. And I think one of my favorite things being on the ship is seeing the medical in-services, because I get to hear all these different surgeons talk about what they love to do and what they do, and how amazing God is that He gave us brains that could figure out problems like this and fix them. I don't actually have a good story about a patient for this one. I wish I did. But one of the things that Dr. Emil did say was that he said there's no way you can not have a God. If you don't believe in God and you're in medicine, he said it's just so hopeless, because you see these horrible things happen to these perfect little babies before they're even born or after they're even born, and there's no like explanation for that. So he said having faith helps a lot. Also, whenever they find the teratoma, when the baby is still in utero, they have two treatments. Sometimes they can remove the teratoma while the baby's still in the uterus, but most of the time they do early deliveries and then remove the teratoma from the baby, and then the baby's healthy. And they don't normally come back, but they can be reoccurring. Again, they don't know a ton about these certain types of diseases very much, which is unfortunate. Dr. Emil, I know, does more research on it, and he's trying to find out how to fix this and everything. So today I had the day off. It's Saturday. It is around 9 o'clock p.m. the 16th of March, and I had a great privilege of going to the Niger market, which is just down the road from the ship, and getting to shop with the locals and see everything they made. But actually I wanted to tell you about this headband that I got. I got it today, and I got it at Wakalari, which is a little shop that is run by women who used to be outcasts based on medical conditions, and they have been taught how to sew and make bags and headbands and everything. So it's really awesome to be able to go to that shop and support these women by buying their things. So this is a headband I got. It's very pretty. So I just wanted to share that with all of you. This weekend, arrival-wise, we have more of the OBGYN surgeons coming in. Still lots of dentists, because they're still doing a lot of dental work, because a lot of people need dental work here. So that's a little update for you. I'll see you again next week. Have a blessed evening. Bye, y'all.